are your top 2 qualities you would bring to the Oconto Falls Board of Education?
I would like to be part of the school board so we can make the right decision. I would want to be on there to make the right decision. Try to get more people involved in the community in what's going on with the school board. So if you would have any questions that you can come talk to us, any board member, anything. I think we need more of that, and hopefully I can bring that in if I get elected. I think that the community needs to be more involved. They need more info, so if something's going on, I think everybody should know what's going on. It should be, so I'm hoping I can do that for the people. So another one, be on the board to make the right decisions. So you can explain to the people, why did we do this? Why didn't we do that? Give them the whole point of view.
What areas within the Oconto Falls School District do you see us excelling? And in contrast, where do you see a need for growth?
For the growth, I do believe that we should get more in skill workers. Everybody's not for college. Construction. I do construction. I do flooring. If you have somebody, there to say, hey, it's all right not to go to college. You just go to TC. You learn. You get your tradesmen. And you drive around and you can see the buildings. You can drive and say, hey, I worked there. I built that. I really would like to see more of that.
In terms of education, coaching, and community involvement, what experiences have you gained, and how will these experiences help you to become an effective school board member?
I'm a head coach for the Oconto Falls Youth Football. I'm on the board for youth football. I help make the decision, make it grow, make it better for everybody. The board members on that board, we all work together to make it work. As I see, the youth football is growing more and more and more. Getting more people involved in that. Just maybe on the field, on the board, just see these kids. You get 4th graders coming there, they don't know nothing about football. You teach them, and that next thing you know, in 3 weeks, you're like, holy man, look at what I did to these kids. So hopefully, being a board member, I can do the same thing with the community, let them know what's going on, not hide nothing, just, keep them all informed.
Is there anything else you would like to share that would be of interest to our voting community?
Again, my big topic is trying to get the community more involved. I think that's a lot of issues in this district, is that there's not enough people going to the school board meeting. We need more people to go to watch basketball, watch football, watch volleyball, all the sports. We just need to get the community all together. This is a great community. If there's a benefit, you would not believe, how many people are involved. We need to do that as a board member, get more people involved, and hopefully I can do that.
What are your top 2 qualities you would bring to the Oconto Falls Board of Education?
I would suggest that the 2 top qualities that I would bring would be a willingness to listen to other people attentively, and reading the room of how the room is feeling on a particular issue. So listening and having a feel for how others are interpreting the issue or question. And also a confidence to form my own opinion about whatever the issue is, and a willingness to change that opinion depending on the circumstances, if not to be wishy-washy, but to be comfortable with the opinion, but comfortable with changing it if circumstances dictate.
Share an instance where you had a particular point of view on a topic, but after gaining more knowledge about that topic, you changed your point of view.
Well, that would address what I just said about having an opinion and changing it, and I would reference previous personnel matter on the school board about 6 years ago, and I won't mention any details or names, but in the context of the session of coming to a decision, I had an opinion how it should resolve itself, and then after getting more information, and the board was split, and it came apparent that the only way this would resolve was somebody's going to have to change their opinion. And so I flipped to the other side of the opinion, changed my opinion, and then made the people that I was with the first place try to argue me back to their side. And so I had an opinion, we gained more information, and I changed my opinion because I felt it was the right thing to do to resolve the issue.
What areas within the Oconto Falls School District do you see us excelling? And in contrast, where do you see a need for growth?
I think the school district has a very positive image in the community. I think the community feels that the Oconto Falls School District is a positive, is a gem, is a foundation of quality within the community. I think the school district is effective at self-evaluation and self-criticism and correcting itself to improve. And I think historically the district has been good about moving forward, being forward-thinking. Areas for growth, I think we need to continue to propose to parents and the students that are in the school district that there's competition out there, locally, nationally, worldwide. I mean, if your career takes you into a remote setting where you can work from home, and a lot of people have done that during COVID, there's the potential for that job to go away because you can be replaced by somebody somewhere else that has access to a computer, internet system, is real, and it's a threat. And so all of us have to keep improving. And so I want parents and students to get that message from the school district that we have to improve constantly, all of us.
In terms of education, coaching, and community involvement, what experiences have you gained, and how will these experiences help you to become an effective school board member?
I graduated from UW-Madison, but that's a long time ago. I read widely. I don't know if this is about 5 newspapers every day, and books. I'm constantly reading them. I read voraciously for breadth, for many different topics. And so that has kept me interested in educating myself, and also I come across articles about education and I stop and I read them. I haven't done any coaching since I was a 16-year-old with 4-H, softball. It's a long time ago. So I can't answer that area with any critique. Community involvement would be the school board. I served 2 terms, 6 years, about 6 years ago, would be the last community involvement that I partake partook of. But I think that would lead to being able to walk into the school board today, if I were elected, and kind of hit the ground running. Although this is, obviously, I would have to be reacquainted with the board and with the issues that are before the board today, and obviously with a new superintendent.
Is there anything else you would like to share that would be of interest to our voting community?
A challenge I see going forward for education is, well, there's many challenges, but one would revolve around the technology that's coming toward us rapidly with artificial intelligence and virtual reality. And my concern is how we're going to incorporate that into education, both from the professional staff and also from the students, and also not lose sight of the importance of the social interaction that occurs in the school, whether it's in the playground or in the hallway or in sports or in the classroom. I think I understand and want to highlight that we have such a different opportunity coming forward than the chalk and talk that I grew up with. That I don't want to lose sight of how important schools are for the social interaction with our students and the develop as they develop also. So I guess that would be the last challenge for the voters to think about.
What are your top 2 qualities you would bring to the Oconto Falls Board of Education?
Well, I would like to think I'm a good listener and a very approachable person. Over the years, I've had a lot of community members and parents come and talk to me, and I have no problem with that. And they can reach me best through phone or email. Also, I think with my background, I think I have the ability to evaluate a lot of the data that's presented to the board to make decisions, and I think with a 7-person board we can come with a consensus to the best solution possible.
Share an instance where you had a particular point of view on a topic, but after gaining more knowledge about that topic, you changed your point of view.
I generally don't come into a meeting with a particular point of view on a topic. I try and gain enough knowledge about the topic, and then through the board discussion and listening to every board member's opinion, come up with a solution that's best for the students in our district. So maybe there are some times when we have to make a decision and we don't have all the information and we don't have enough time to say, well, we'd like more information and bring it back to the board to the next meeting. We might make a decision where after further consideration I do change my mind, but nothing really in particular over the number of years comes to mind right off the bat.
What areas within the Oconto Falls School District do you see us excelling? And in contrast, where do you see a need for growth?
I think in the area of curriculum and technology, our school district really excels in the choices that we give our students through the courses they're able to take, and that helps them to have success in whatever their future endeavors are going to be, whether they go on to school, go right into the workforce, go to the military, or whatever. I think mental health is another area that has come to the forefront here as far as something we need to work on in the students as well as the staff. It's something we need to give as much support to as we can afford.
In terms of education, coaching, and community involvement, what experiences have you gained, and how will these experiences help you to become an effective school board member?
Well, I have an engineering background, and I've also been a dairy farmer and grain farmer for most of the past 35 years here. So I think with my educational background and the number of boards I've served on throughout, I've been on various boards, co-op boards, Board of Canvassers, a lot of working with people and making decisions. I feel very comfortable with that. I don't feel I have all the answers, and I think through discussions with the people we have representing this district, we can come up with the good results.
Is there anything else you would like to share that would be of interest to our voting community?
Well, I've always had a strong commitment to education in the community, and I've lived in the district for, I think, mostly all but 3 years. I've had sisters that went through and graduated from school. My kids graduated, and now I have 7 grandchildren that are in the school district, all the way from high school, middle school, and in elementary. And I guess I would just like to continue to make Oconto Falls School District the best that it can be.
What are your top 2 qualities you would bring to the Oconto Falls Board of Education?
Well, I think the first quality that I would like to talk about would be listening. So a lot of what I've been telling people already in my interview and when I talk to people is that I really want to be a good listener to the people who come to me with their concerns. And not just listening to respond, but really listening to understand where they're really coming from. I think it's really often where when someone is talking to us, we're already trying to formulate our response, and we're already trying to think about, well, what am I going to say back? But I think it's really valuable just to be able to listen, to understand where that person is coming from, and maybe not making a decision or having a reaction right away, and just taking that information in, and then moving forward with it if need be, bringing it to the board for concern, for discussion and decision, but listening for one. Number 2 would be, I guess, flexibility, or like willingness to change, or not being so steadfast in everything. I think the last 2 years has really taught me that everything changes. The only thing that stays the same is that everything changes. So something that was true for you yesterday or a week ago might not be true for you tomorrow. And I think that being able to maybe admit you're wrong and like humble yourself a little bit in these situations is important when you're in a leadership role. I think as somebody who's elected in as a public servant, you really have to be willing to change your mind and admit that, when appropriate.
Share an instance where you had a particular point of view on a topic, but after gaining more knowledge about that topic, you changed your point of view.
So I think this speaks to the last question as well. Over the last couple of years, there's been many instances where I have, had very strong feelings about a lot of topics, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who have had strong feelings about a lot of topics. That's kind of the environment that we live in right now. But as I said in the last question, I think it's really important to, even though you do have strong feelings about something, even though you do feel right and validated in how you feel and what you think is the truth, that truth is different for somebody else. So there are facts in life, but everybody has different lived experiences, and that affects how they view those facts and deal with those facts. So someone else's ability to decipher those facts or do what they will with them is different than mine, because my lived experiences are different than theirs. So there's been a lot of instances. Not how you solve the problem. Sometimes there isn't a solution. It's how you navigate through the problem and how you communicate with your peers and make a mutual agreement on how to move through the issues.
What areas within the Oconto Falls School District do you see us excelling? And in contrast, where do you see a need for growth?
So as a parent, I have always been extraordinarily impressed with the staff and the teachers in the school. I think that is somewhere where the district is really excelling, hiring amazing staff, amazing teachers that do really good work with our kids. I'm so thankful every day that I get to drop my kids off to the group of teachers they have, because I just simply think that they're great. And I've heard great things at all levels, middle school, high school. So I think that's something that the district is really doing well at. Something that could probably be improved or an area of growth would be how the district communicates with the community, and vice versa, how the community communicates with the district. So possibly providing more avenues for the community to communicate with the district. I know that there's open session, and there's avenues for people to come to the meetings and state their point of view. But I do think that there's more opportunity for the district or the board to listen, and possibly having just listening panels where people come in and the board just listens and takes in what the community has to say, and also how the district communicates with the community. So finding different avenues, through the internet, through the newspaper, through the webpage, what we're putting out on a consistent basis could be improved.
In terms of education, coaching, and community involvement, what experiences have you gained, and how will these experiences help you to become an effective school board member?
So I have a lot of experience with education and or coaching. It might not be the typical type of coaching like sports coaching, but I do have a lot of experience in one-on-one coaching. So my work has always been education and or coaching. I started out in physical therapy. Every time I have a patient, that's education, that's coaching. I moved on to being a personal trainer and a wellness consultant, so a lot of one-on-one coaching there, as well as large group education, mostly adults. And then more recently in my role, I do education in the schools in Oconto and Marinette County. So I teach 2nd through 4th grade nutrition lessons. So I'm in the schools, I'm in classrooms, almost every day. So I have a lot of experience, but I also do have experience, coaching adults. So I teach some lessons with New View for Health and Human Services. I have had experience with some education opportunities at Kingdom Come for the people who use that. So I think I have a lot of experience in a lot of different, with people with a lot of different walks of life, kids, adults, and everywhere in between. So I really think that gives me the ability to be approachable and to really listen and be able to understand where people are coming from, because I do that every day. It's part of my job. It's part of my what I live. So I really enjoy it too. So I enjoy that communication. So.
Is there anything else you would like to share that would be of interest to our voting community?
I'm really looking forward to creating more room for open discussion, creating room for people to come to the table, to have their voices heard. I really think that's important, and I think that there's a lot of opportunity there for growth. I'm also looking forward to supporting kids and teachers, and really watching kids be successful in whatever avenue success means for them. Success means different things to different kids, so I really am looking forward to being a part of that and watching that happen.